A brief comparison between Dallas County graduation rates and those of the state and nation would lead one to assume that Dallas County is a slightly below average region of the United States.
But when the numbers are analyzed more in depth, you find there is a wide gulf between the highest and lowest achieving schools in Dallas County. Our project compares statistics of non-educational factors in the surrounding areas of 5 of Dallas's highest achieving high schools and 5 of its lowest. These factors were home ownership rates, crime rates, demographics, and average household income. Additionally, our project provides a background on the historical effects of court cases that led to desegregation and white flight, that we believe is one of the largest underlying causes of these differences.
The high schools with the 5 lowest graduation rates in our research were Thomas Jefferson, Conrad, Roosevelt, Spruce, and South Oak Cliff. Their graduation rates ranged from a low of 72.6% to a high of 79.3%. The 5 higher achieving high schools we looked at were Highland Park, Coppell, Allen, Plano West, and Frisco. Their graduation rates ranged from a low of 97.2 to a high of 99.3%.
A major key to understanding the gross extent of inequity in these numbers is understanding that the order to integrate DISD led the majority white flight school district to transform into a minority-dominated one. The white flight which took place removed much of the resources from both local schools and local government. While our essay explores multiple court cases including Brown v. Board and Swan v. Charlotte-Mecklenburg, these cases built up to the 1970 case, which was key for Dallas, Tasby versus Estes.
In this case, it was decided that 16 years of minimal efforts toward integration in DSD, which had resulted in only 3% of African American students attending white majority schools after 10 years, were insufficient and required an immediate remedy. Due to the precedent which had been recently established in the Swan case, this remedy took the form of a busing system that was designed to quickly integrate white and minority students across DISD. This solution, however, was hated on both sides, but white families in particular saw this as an unacceptable situation. This led to an immediate exodus of white families from the DISD system. Most fled to suburban neighborhoods, while others opted to pay the enrollment fee at private institutions within the city. Both led to a drop of white enrollment from 57% in DISD in 1970 to only 8% at the turn of the century 30 years later. This new segregation set the stage for differences we found in our study.
Initially, our expectation was to find a difference in both home prices and home ownership rates in the areas we analyzed. But in fact, the home prices did not differ nearly as much as we expected. The truly staggering difference was found in home ownership rates between the areas around low graduation rate schools and those around high graduation rate schools. In a study published for the academic journal Child Development, researchers identified one possible reason higher home ownership rates may contribute to academic achievement being a connection with lower rates of child problem behaviors. The article found that home ownership led parents to exhibit many traits that led to them being improved role models, including heightened self-esteem, initiative-taking, future orientation, and hopefulness.
For a teacher in the classroom, taking the time to think through how you can model these same traits or bring in a guest who exemplifies these characteristics can be a really strong teacher move towards equity.
Much like home ownership rates, we found a stark difference between the local crime rates between the areas around the high and low graduation rate schools.
A study by the University of Western Ontario makes a compelling economic argument as to why neighborhood crime may decrease graduation rates. Simply put, they argue that it would be a rational economic decision for students to drop out early if they were to believe they were going to make more money through illicit activities. Education delivers long-term benefits, which are not often tangible to students. In areas where students are often exposed to crime, the success and wealth of those who make their money illegally is often more apparent than those who graduate high school. But just as difficult to grasp topics such as science, math, or any subject can be scaffolded and made tangible for students, so can the costs and benefits of following through on education. Specifically, we suggest utilization of guest speakers with personal experiences and collaborative assignments where teachers learn with the students through research into expected income and quality of life via different career paths.
In our exploration of school demographics, we found that the 5 schools with the lowest graduation rates are mostly made of minority students, with the largest percent of white students only being 3% at Conrad. On the other side of the coin, the top 5 achieving schools were consistently dominated by a plurality of white students.
In the classroom, seating and desk organization is crucial for student learning. Leveraging the real estate is imperative so students can focus and have similar learning opportunities as their classmates, as well as making sure that the students of color within your class have a voice so they can feel empowered to speak.
Median household income in low graduation rate schools ranged from $32,000 to $44,000, while those in areas corresponding with high graduation rates were well over $100,000 in all but one case. Once again, the explanation our research uncovered was economic in origin. According to an article entitled "The Changing Roles of Parental Economic Resources in Children's Educational Attainment," one explanation for the correlation between high-income families and high graduation rates is that high-income students do not need to assist in providing income for their families. Similarly to crime rates, teacher actions unfortunately cannot be taken to change the average local household income.
But enabling your students to explore the long-term benefits of graduating from high school and relating it to their current situation could assist in keeping some students in the classroom who may not have seen its value.
Former Mayor Rawlings' Grow South initiative has focus points relating to property crime rates, residential investment, and public school enrollment.
He wants to make the community of Dallas a nicer and safer place to live in for all those, regardless of skin color or income.
We need more people in positions of power to make change happen, but that change has to happen firsthand and in the classroom.
We often hear teachers say they can only control what happens inside of the classroom, so that is all they are going to focus on.
While that may be partially true, we hope that our video has provided some teacher actions that can be taken to counteract these effects.